One of the most essential knots to tie in all of fishing is a loop knot. A loop knot is very basic. It is not one that's used a ton in bass fishing. It's used a lot in saltwater. It's used a pretty good amount in crappie fishing and some other types of fishing. So I'm going to just show you how to do it, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. All right, so all we're gonna do to tie this loop knot, I got some 20-pound Sunline shooter sniper. It's 20-pound test. It's a little bigger than I would use for most of my bass fishing with a loop knot, but you can see it a little bit easier. All you're gonna do before you even pick up the lure is you're gonna make an overhand knot, just like that right there, and I'm gonna make it about 4 or 5 inches up above. I'm gonna pull it down to where it's about a ½ inch in diameter, something like that, and then you're going to look at it, and there's going to be an upstream and a downstream is what I call it. The upstream, goes to the main line. Downstream goes down towards the bait, and you're going to take that loop of the downstream, go through the hook eye, whatever you're on. And then you're going to go back through that upstream angle. And once you get it on there, you're going to pull that loop all the way down to right on it. I like pulling it all the way down there. And then I'm going to pinch it. I'm wrapping about 5 times. You could be, 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like 5 wraps. Then I'm going to be going back through the upstream side. You can see that's the upstream. Go right back through that upstream side. I'm going to pull it tight on both sides. And once the knot cinches down like that, it's going to lock into place. You can pull it to tighten it up a little bit more. But I like a nice small loop just like that. And I'm going to come down and clip the tag in with a little bit extra. And then I want to make sure that when I cinch that loop tight, that loop is shorter than the distance from the hook eye to the hook point. So there's nothing that hook point can get caught on within that loop. And then you're going to get all the functionality of that loop. Your tag end's going to be pointing down, so it's not going to catch on grass or anything like that. And you're going to have a very functional basic loop knot right there. Very easy. All right, so as you can see, that knot functions a little bit different than most knots, especially the ones used in bass fishing. Most everybody's using a Palomar. Most everybody's using a San Diego Jam. That's probably my #1 knot in all of bass fishing, but that cinches down on the line. Palomar, San Diego Jam, those knots cinch down so they don't allow the bait to freely swing as easy. But the biggest deal is that they're stronger than about any other knot you can tie. Those 2 knots are the 2 strongest, bar none. The loop knot, not quite as strong, but it has some functional advantages that like I said, they take advantage of in saltwater and in crappie fishing. And I bet you would find there's a few different applications in bass fishing that they would also apply to. Like anytime I'm throwing a small little, like a gulp minnow on a jig head or a Ned bomb or a little Ned rig, I am going to experiment more with the Ned rig and a loop knot to see if I can't get a few more bites, because that bait is just going to be a little bit freer. That little lightweight jig head, it's going to be a little bit freer as it goes down. Hair jigs, when people are throwing hair jigs for smallmouth and for largemouth, wintertime, or just when the bite's really tough, that bait's going to be a little bit freer. It's going to be just a little bit. That action difference is a big deal with that loop knot. So incorporate that loop knot into a little bit more of your fishing. Like as you could see, it's very basic. It's very easy. That's kind of the standard loop knot. There's about 10 different variations of a loop knot that I've seen, but that's a very basic, very easy one to tie. Anybody can tie it. It works all the way from 6-pound test all the way up to 20, which is what you saw me tie this with today.